Hello all you savages, welcome to the crypto jungle. My name is Blue the Bear, and here on the channel we focus on technical analysis and fundamental analysis. We got a few coins to take a look at here. Free Fly's got a list for us to take a look at. If you guys aren't already in the Discord and you want to get VIP access and VIP trading signals and charts, then links below. But we're going to take a look at Bitcoin. I want to take a look at what is going on with the price of Bitcoin. We've had a move out of this consolidation. So we did say that, you know, the consolidation or the price in the earlier stages of the consolidation looked bearish, but the most recent price action was bullish, and we are actually moving to the upside. So I want to take a look at Bitcoin. I want to take a look at what's going on with Ethereum, specifically with Ethereum in relation to Bitcoin, and then take a look at the dollar, because the dollar is really where this pivot is coming from. So I just, yeah, let's see if we can get a momentum shift in the sentiment and see if we can start making some money in these markets here. So without any further ado, let's take a look at Bitcoin here. So we're here, we've been watching the 4-hour chart, and let's just zoom out for a moment and talk about the big picture here. Bigger picture. We're looking at a potential double bottom. Now we're really starting to shape up here. It's kind of like an Adam and Eve. I don't know, is that an Adam and Eve? I'm not much for patterns, but we've got a double bottom formation here, and we've been watching this range on the smaller time frames to watch for a breakout. We've gotten the breakout, so things are looking good, things are trending in the right direction. When we turn on the alphanumerics indicator, we also just got a bullish cross on the alphanumerics indicator here on the daily. The next solid confirmation that I would be looking for is to get that bullish cross on the 3-day. So we're definitely a few days away from that happening. I would say probably a week from that potentially happening. So we'll have to watch out for that. And the wave is still red, so it's still indicating bearish momentum. It hasn't completely shifted to the bull side just yet, but yeah, it's on the smaller time frames looking like there's a little bit of a repair happening. So let's dive into the 4-hour and dissect it a little further. Let's turn alphanumerics off and look at this from a Wyckoff perspective. Okay, so from a Wyckoff perspective, you know, this sign of strength off of the spring, it's kind of a mini sign of strength. Now we have our real sign of strength. This is a fantastic move out of the trading range, getting above all of the previous up thrust highs of this trading range. So where we stand right now is we're looking at a backup. So basically, I don't care where the backup lands. You know, it would be nice if it started to consolidate here, it could consolidate here, and it can honestly consolidate at lower levels, kind of at the area of the order block back here as well. The important thing is not where the backup lands. The important thing is to just identify once the consolidation begins on the smaller time frames. You might even go down to the 1-hour on this. Once the consolidation begins on the smaller time frame, you're going to watch for that turnaround. So whatever pattern takes place, whether it's a triangle, whether it's a flag, whatever the pattern is, once you get a break of that pattern to the upside, it's going to be a high probability setup for you to be going long on that asset. So yeah, it's looking good. All systems go. So let's take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum has been doing very similar moves from a structural point of view, but obviously because it's a lower market cap coin than Bitcoin, it's making higher percentage gains. So yesterday's candle, I'm on the 3-day chart here. Yesterday's candle, we made a 7% move, and the day prior to that, we made nearly a 9% move. So definitely some good momentum here in Ethereum, and that can be better illustrated here on the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. Now, we did mention, you know, there's a possibility of a pivot right here. It's looking like we're getting that pivot. Still a lot of resistance at the upper end of this channel right here, and that correlates with a ton of horizontal resistance up here. So do watch out. I'm a lot less optimistic on Ethereum in terms of a longer, more sustained rally, if I'm being honest. But hey, when Bitcoin moves, the rest of crypto is shortly behind it as well. So I'd be watching up here at around kind of the 0.08 level of 0.08 BTC per ETH. Would be where I would watch out. If we get a break above that, then a lot of this stuff becomes invalidated. So watch out for that as well. I think the Bitcoin pair is a lot more important to pay attention to than the dollar pair for Ethereum specifically. At least for now in the bull market. You can pay attention to dollar performance on Bitcoin, but when you're wondering about Ethereum performance, as long as we're making higher highs on the Bitcoin pair on the dollar, you can continue to pay attention, or you could get more value out of paying attention to the Bitcoin pair. Can I get a sound check? And well, I guess just a sound check because my camera's not on today. It looks like I'm dropping a few frames, so if you guys could be so kind as to give me that feedback, that would be great. All right, now all of this is happening because the dollar is finally cooling its jets. The dollar has been on an absolute tear. Taking a look here on the daily, dollar's been in an incredible uptrend. Really sustained uptrend here since the bottom. You know, we've got several different angles of attack here. You know, we had a nice gentle uptrend, then it began to accelerate. We're kind of breaking out of that right now, so I would love to see this downtrend continue, as that's going to be ideal for a risk on asset or a risk on environment. But we're in the very early stages, so this definitely has the possibility to turn around as well. I haven't drawn a support line. I've drawn kind of a mean reversion line, just kind of centering itself in the middle of the consolidation. And we haven't broken too much structure, but what I'm really liking about this current move is just this high, this lower high, and then we actually managed to take out the low here. So it's a step in the right direction. We're trending down, which is what you want to see if you're wanting to take a bullish posture in any market. A little bit stuttered, but seems to have sorted itself out. Okay, good. Yeah, so the dollar, it's looking good. And when we go to the smaller time frames, hopefully we're looking at another LPSY here. So we've broken through the ice. We kind of have our up thrust action here, kind of an LPSY. Maybe we get an LPSY to the underside of this line, but you know, we could encounter some weakness and just get it over with at these levels as well. In terms of resistances here on the smaller time frames, let's just clean that up a little bit. This area has a lot of confluence in it, so we still have a little bit of room to rally, maybe even widen that up a little bit, kind of this general range. So, you know, if anybody's in Forex, you're looking to short it, I'd be looking in this general range, basically between 110 and a 111 would be kind of the area of a potential reversal here for the dollar. It's currently on a rally, but it's heading in the right direction, which is down. That's what we want. So looking good. Like to see. It's refreshing. So we're having the types of bullish, the effects that this is having on the market is really good. You know, we're reclaiming this level. honestly, the fact that we broke below this is certainly less than ideal, and my macro stance on the market is still bearish. Okay. The thing about macro is macro takes a long time to play out. So when you're looking at stuff on the macro, you're looking at high time frame, you're looking at 3-day, you're looking at weekly, you may even be looking at monthly charts. So when you're looking at those charts, the pivots are going to be very slow, large pivots. So when we do pivot from a downtrend to an uptrend, it could take a matter of weeks. It's not a matter of days, it's not a matter of hours, it's a matter of weeks. And when we do pivot, even though the macro environment is bearish, this is still a favorable move. We can go up to the area of resistance back up here, and there will be an incredible amount of bullish sentiment if we made a move like this, but it doesn't change my downside theory of the overall market that I'd be looking to see this continue to further downside. So just, you know, kind of letting everybody know that I don't think that we're entering kind of those really extreme bull market conditions. I'm just looking at a potential pivot where we're in the condition where a lot of assets are really oversold. So because they're oversold, it's kind of hard for them to continue to sell off. So we have a little bit of room to upside. We'll see what happens. Maybe we can get some positive narratives to go along with it. It's interesting to see how often a positive narrative goes along with positive price action. So whatever the case may be, if we continue to rally in price, something will be positive out there. Somebody will say something that'll flip the narrative around, and people will be a little bit more willing to take on risk. S&P actually doing much better than the NASDAQ here. Taking a look at the S&P on the daily. Nice reclaim, still well above the area that we took out back here. We took this level out. Again, not ideal to take this level out, but we're back. We've have kind of an inverse head and shoulders here. If we can hold above this level, that would be ideal. Yeah, it's positive price action, you know. Really, we can simplify a lot of our analysis here by just paying attention to what the dollar's doing. Really don't need to overcomplicate it too much. Here's the kind of area to pay attention to. You want to see a rejection here. If you get a rejection here, I don't care what you're trading, if you're going to want to be on the long side. So that's what we're looking for. All right, let's take a look at some of the altcoins that were requested from the Discord. So the altcoins were Olympus DAO and Aave, I believe. Olympus DAO, Aave on the dollar and Bitcoin pair. Why don't we take a look at Aave first? Somebody was asking me about Kramer coin. Looks like distribution to me. If you're in that dumb meme coin, hey, giver. Aave. We'll start out with the dollar pair. So a lot of coins are still in this kind of posture. I'm actually going to move over to the 3-day chart. You know what? Let's go to the weekly because there's enough data here. Let's take a look at the weekly. I've seen better. Let's bring it down to the 3-day. Yeah, so we're kind of, you know, here's our preliminary support level, and we're kind of meandering around. Might be our seller's climax, actually. Let's throw a few labels down. Seller's climax. Automatic rally. I'll put the automatic rally there. And secondary test. Range bound for now, in the middle of the range. So less than ideal in terms of accumulation. There's no real trade here per se. There's no momentum, but it's price structure looks relatively cumulative. There is a little bit of a blip here in the volume, which is showing some interest. Unfortunately, it came in the context of a rally, so it is showing people selling rather than buying. I think if you're interested in Aave, accumulating anywhere at the bottom of the range or anywhere in this range of the secondary test would be ideal for you. But I don't see a momentum shift, and I don't see anything happening in the short term. Let's take a look at it on the Bitcoin pair. Yeah, on the Bitcoin pair, it's at a much more vulnerable level. It's had a bit of a rally. It's had a bit of a rally. Let's draw some lines here. Seller's climax. Automatic rally. And it's kind of in the same spot, but it has more of a tendency to want to dip below the seller's climax level. So you might even open this up a bit. It's up to you. You know, TA is an art, not a science, but there's more downside room here for me looking at this. And then the smaller time frame consolidation, if we take a look at this on, let's say, a 12-hour time frame, this area of where we are inside of this trading range looks a lot more distributional, where you've got your kind of head and shoulders formation, a little bit of a tightening of the spread, but you've got your bearish divergence here on the RSI, and it's broken down below, giving you your sign of weakness. If we take out this level, it's probably going to the bottom here in terms of BTC. Less than ideal. So, you know, there's other assets that I think have better momentum behind them than this. But honestly, at this stage in the game, we're in a very risk-off environment right now. When you're in a risk-off environment, the last things to move are going to be altcoins. You first need to see a shift in the dollar. Then you need to see bullish price action in the S&P. Then you need to see bullish price action in the NASDAQ. Then you need to see bullish price action in Bitcoin. Then you need to see bullish price action in Ethereum. And then, and only then, are you going to have that trickle-down effect in terms of sentiment and risk appetite have an effect on altcoins. That's why when we look at a lot of these altcoin charts, they're flat. We look at them, they're flat. Everything's flat. Looks is flat. Sushi looks like it kind of wants to break out, but relatively flat. Maker, you know, nothing's really on a strong rally right now. And it's because the sentiment shift hasn't occurred yet. We haven't had that shift in momentum. We haven't had that shift in sentiment. People are still very bearish on everything. They're bearish on everything. So, you know, crypto is like the last thing on anybody's mind right now. All right, let's take a look at Olympus Dow. Geom on the Frax pair. Flat. Not doing much. You know, it's very range bound. Very range bound. Let's actually draw some trend lines on this. Yeah. No. Don't want to force it. Where's a good floor here? Thumbs up from Grizoso. Grizzly bear? You know oso is Spanish for grizzly bear? You might be Spanish, so you might know that. Maybe Grizoso means literally grizzly bear in Spanish. I don't know. We are range bound. Olympus, it's not doing much, right? So this is the problem with a lot of these high yield DAOs is they have so much negative sentiment, because what happened during the bull run is they sucked in all the fucking degens. They sucked in all of the lowest of the low in terms of fundamental analysis degenerates. They didn't really understand what the protocol did. They only understand that you know, there was a high yield attached to it. So the unfortunate reality with many of these DAOs is they attracted the wrong audience. And what happens when the wrong audience gets fucked is they spread FUD, they spread misinformation, they spread negative sentiment. But what I will say about this project in particular is it's tracking very close to its fundamentals. So, you know, I don't want to do too much of an Olympus DAO deep dive here, but we can quickly take a look at app.olympus. And we can look at the treasury and some of the indicators. Gotta change the network. Yeah, switch. Let's go to dashboard. And let's go to ohm backing. This is the important thing to pay attention to if you are interested in Olympus. It's just taking forever to load. It's been trading very close to its backing. So its backing has been declining as a lot of the assets have lost value. You know, everything in the market has lost value. So some of the volatile assets inside of the treasury have also lost their value. So the backing went down. But look at the variation here. Look at how undervalued the price of ohm was here in relation to its backing, and then it flipped on top, and then it went overvalued. There was much more volatility with the treasury, undervalued, overvalued, and now we're just lock in step, very, very close to the value of the treasury. So it's a lot easier to make the correct pricing for Olympus DAO, but yeah, you know, it is what it is. I don't see this one moving anywhere anytime soon, much like a lot of the other assets that are still in the market right now. We're in this type of environment where there is potential for a bullish move in the market, but it's going to be still very hard for you to pick the right assets because it's not a bull market. When you're in a full-blown bull market, everything goes up. Doesn't matter what it is. If you say it's crypto, someone's going to buy it. It doesn't matter what it is. When you're in a bear market rally, you really need to pay attention to hype. Hype is everything in a bear market rally. So, you know, the fundamentals don't matter. Projects that you love don't matter. A lot of things don't matter in a bear market rally. The only thing that matters is hype. And if you suck at measuring hype, then you should trade Bitcoin and Ethereum, and that's it. You know, Bitcoin and Ethereum will always perform well because they're the ones that carry the market. So if you're going to try and pick other assets that are not Bitcoin or Ethereum, you need to do a very good job of measuring and analyzing the hype and energy being applied to marketing. Honestly, look at marketing budgets, figure out who's got the money and figure out who's shilling the stuff, because the bear market rally, not everything goes up. Not everything goes up. So take that into consideration. All right, we took a look at BTC, we took a look at Geom, we took a look at Aave on the Bitcoin and USD pair. Are there any other projects you guys want to take a look at? Apologies for the glitchy stream. Not sure what is going on, but my chat keeps saying I keep disconnecting from the chat, so something's glitching out on me. Not exactly sure how to fix that. All right. Well, that is all the time that I wanted to spend taking a look at the market here. So I think I'm going to wrap it up there. Again, just to kind of recap what I'm looking at, first and foremost is the dollar. This is the most important chart in crypto right now, and it's not a crypto. Okay, pay attention to the dollar. If the dollar keeps falling, everything is going to be just fine. If the dollar turns around here, gets back on top of this line, gets back on top of the mean reversion, crypto and everything else is going to have a bad time. But if we do continue to trend down, then we're probably going to get some more bullish signals coming into Bitcoin. We're probably going to get a 3-day bull cross. We're probably going to get a green wave from the alphanumerics indicator. These are all very positive signs moving forwards. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll keep it real simple. Keep it real simple. There's only 2 charts. There's only 2 charts you got to watch. Just don't overcomplicate it. All right, that is all the time I have for today. If you guys are interested in joining VIP, check out the links below or scan the QR code on the screen right now for some much wow information. And yeah, please trade safe. It is a jungle out there. Peace.